You ready for your interview?
Interview?
Yep. You practice your lines?
We know speaking English.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and a dock man can survive. The water's edge can't survive. The industry will survive.
So Garrick, what's the plan of attack today?
We're gonna roll the whole kayak launch system down at probably a 200-yard boardwalk. We can't scratch it either, so because they're just freshly built. Then we install the kayak launch. About 20 feet down the gangway. We're switching up our plan.
Switching up the plan?
Yep, switching up the plan. Our front wheels aren't working out the way that I anticipated them to work, so plan B. That's why there's 27 letters in the alphabet.
What's plan B?
Or 26 letters in the alphabet. We're gonna lift that end and just leave the wheels on this end. And we're gonna wheel it down. A little bit of an obstacle getting the gangway, 30-foot long gangway. It's about 1,200 pounds, and we had to walk it. I don't know if you can see that far, but from the truck about 150 or 200 yards down here. We put it on wheels and a little bit of can-do attitude and some elbow grease, and we got her down here. After this, it's pretty plug and play. Most of the time, getting everything into position is the most difficult part, but we got the gangway down here, and now we're floating everything down the river, so we don't have to carry it 150 yards. We put it on the sections, and we just float it all down here, tools and all. So we're out here with the crew today at Innovation Hills Park in Rochester Hills, putting in an EZ Dock Kayak Launch. So it's an ADA and UA approved handicap accessible kayak launch. Innovation Hills has done, well, the city of Rochester has done a lot with this park. They put a lot of time and energy into it, and we're excited to be out here. Okay, let's go. This is a 30-foot heavy-duty gangway, and right now they are getting ready to connect it to the floating EZ Dock sections, muscling it into place with some manpower. And the guys lift it up here and hook it to the gangway to float hinge. What that does is it allows the gangway to move when the water level raises or lowers on the river. Now we're going to put the supplemental float pods, is what they're called, on here, right there. That supports that end of the gangway so that it doesn't make the dock sag and unlevel because of the weight of that gangway pushing down on it. And I see you beat the shit out of it with a hammer.
That's how those go.
Yep.
That definitely supports that end of that heavy gangway very nicely. There's the stiff arms. This holds the dock from being swept away by the current. It basically anchors it to shore, but still allows it to hinge up and down with rising or declining water levels, which, important to note, this is very low water, very unseasonably low. As this is being installed right here, it actually goes up quite a bit. All right, it's getting pretty close to being done here. Gangway's in, stiff arms are hooked up. Kayak launch is going into place to be coupled. I think just security curbing, transfer bench, and a couple other small items, and this thing's gonna be a done deal.
We're not going to see a finished shot of it on here, not until a year later, because we had some weather coming in. And a thunderstorm happened, so we had to stop. Do you hear that?
It sounds like rain.
One eternity later.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jerry and Garrick here. We snuck out of the office. It's starting to get a little hairy in there, and we're here in Rochester Hills to check out the EZ Kayak Launch that they have here at Innovation Park. They're doing a ton of improvements. I mean, on our walk-in, playground, waterfall area, pond with sitting benches, and right now we're walking down to the EZ Kayak Launch to check it out. All right, who's gonna launch this baby? It will be me. Garrick, going for it. All right. Drop it in place. I know you just love kayaking too, Garrick. This must have been a real treat.
Oh yeah. I think Water's Edge has done 25 or 30 of these kayak launches, and I've never used one until this day.
Yep, I believe it. Boarding bench is nice how it's just over kayak profile height. Yeah, look how much higher the water is.
Some of the huge advantages of those launches, it gives virtually everybody access to the water. A lot of the pros of this handicap accessible kayak launch is the guide rails for when you're pulling yourself onto and off of the launch, and it's got those assist rollers that makes everything roll real smooth. And then another thing is that boarding bench. To be able to slide that out and be able to get above the kayak and then lower yourself down into it is another huge advantage for everybody. Super pumped now that this kayak launch has allowed access to the Clinton River for virtually everybody in the entire community of Rochester Hills and anyone on the Clinton River that wants to come and visit this park. Now, not only entering the water is what makes these launches make easy, it's exiting the water as well. Here we are coming up to it. Before we got there, a week or so prior, they had some serious, severe weather, and the water came up several feet. Actually did a little bit of damage to the launch, but when you look at this thing, and knowing what it went through as far as logs coming down the stream and severe surge of water, yeah, the thing held up beautifully. How was your ride? It was freaking awesome. Love it.
Nice out there?
Hell yeah.
It's hard to even tell anything happened to it. I think one of the, see on the right side there, is it missing a stiff arm? Or they took the stiff arms, yeah, on the left side. Stiff arm came off, and maybe it shifted a little bit, but yeah, these things are bulletproof.
Tune in next time to see where the Dockmen are headed next.